Cathy.
I'm Rachel.
I'm Ola, and I'm Luna, and welcome to Luna Bear Book Club.
It is spring. Is this coming out in spring?
Yeah, it's March.
Well, it must do.
Yeah.
Otherwise, the video doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
But,
I say March is spring.
well, the 21st of March is spring.
No.
Let's consult our calendar. It is spring! It's been spring for a week and, well, officially, but by my reckoning, it's been spring for a week.
For me, spring starts on March the 1st.
For me,
Yeah, me
spring
too.
starts on March the 21st. Let's agree to disagree. Get out your almanac, come on. Anyway, so because it is spring, Cathy has found a spring reading tag for us to choose 10 books based on questions around spring. Now, she kind of...
I sprung it on Rachel. Get it?
So I am vastly underprepared and I don't have any books with me. I might throw in some answers as we go through, but how this video is going to work is I'm going to ask Cathy a question and she's going to answer with a book.
Yes. Because I only found this tag like about 3 hours ago.
And I only arrived about 1 hour ago.
Yeah.
So and I still had to like get out of my pajamas and all that kind of stuff. So you understand.
You get it. This is spontaneous.
Yeah, and you know, I like to think that the Lunenburg community just kind of love our vibe. This is the Splendid Spring Book Tag by Robin over at paperbacksandplanners.com, which is a book blog. So if you want to read book reviews and fun things like that, head over and check Robin out. Anyway, thanks Robin. We're going to do your tag now. Number 1. Everywhere you look, flowers are blooming. Choose a book you love or think you'll love with flowers on the cover.
For this, I've chosen Skeleton Key, which is like my favourite book from a couple of years ago. It has flowers.
Wait, that was more than 1 year ago.
I think so. It has flowers on the cover. It's got a bit of folktale in here. It's got a bit of a thriller in here, and it's a beautiful, beautiful story. And I really, really enjoyed it. Oh, it's also got found family.
Oh, nice.
So in the
I remember when you got that book.
yeah, and so in the midst of quite a tense thriller, horror, stalkers, possible murder mystery, there is also a mum connecting with her foster child.
Oh, that's lovely. Number 2. Spring is the perfect time for a fun trip. Choose a book you've read or would like to read while travelling from one place to another.
For that, I chose Watership Down.
Okay.
I think when I'm travelling, I quite like to read something a bit more in the classics realm, and something that will keep me occupied, but is comforting enough that I will enjoy it without the states like, no, my book's not good and I'm far away from all my other books. And in Watership Down, there's an epic journey, so I feel like it goes well travelling.
Yeah. That makes sense. Number 3. Who doesn't love a good spring fling? Choose a book you are obsessed with for a short period of time, but then you swiftly cast it aside.
Oh, I realised that the book I've chosen doesn't quite fit with this. But this...
Well, it's alright. You tell us what you chose.
So the book I chose was The Haunting of Alma Fielding. I think I missed the last bit of the sentence where it says, like, you cast it aside. Okay. Because that's harsh. I don't do that to books that I love. But I read this and I was obsessed with it for quite a long time, and then I haven't gone back to it. So I feel like one day I will.
Yeah.
But this...
It's not like the 13th Tale where you'd read it over and over and over again.
No,
Right.
I'll probably will read it again one day, but it really like stuck with me because it's like non-fiction about a woman who claimed to be haunted by a poltergeist in the 1930s, and the scientific community that tried to investigate it as if it was a scientific phenomena. Or was it somebody with psychological problems, or was it a hoax? And it was all very mysterious, and I kind of, you get down on YouTube warrants.
Fixated on it,
yeah. So I fixated on things around this for a while, and then I got over it.
Number 4. Everyone loves the smell of freshly mown grass, but not at an ungodly hour. Choose a book that personifies a middle-aged dad waking up at 7 a.m. on Saturday to mow the lawn when he should be sleeping like the rest of us. In brackets, a frustrating book. What have you got?
So for this, I've got the Gorman Gas trilogy.
I thought you really liked this book.
I do like this book, but it is long, and it's kind of got a lot of grumpy old men characters in it that kind of made me think about mowing the lawn at an unreasonable hour. And sometimes, like, it is frustrating. Like, it's slow and methodical, and you could spend like a whole chapter in detail of a side character doing something that seems quite boring and mundane, and nothing will ever come of it. Like, You just kind of, a point of this book is that people are locked into like ritual and tradition with no meaning and no purpose and no kind of momentum in their life. So I guess that summarizes Boil On at 7:30 for me.
Fair enough.
So I do like this book, but that has those kind of vibes.
Okay. Number 5. Oh, your books are falling over.
My book's falling over.
A surprise rain shower might spoil your outdoor fun, but don't worry, the sun will be back. Choose a book that made you really sad, but the sun still shines at the end.
For this, I chose Jane Eyre.
Okay.
Because there are parts of this that are horribly, horribly sad.
Okay.
But Jane does end up in a good place at the end. And by the time I finish this book, I'm always like, I'm so happy for her.
Wait, read who that's by?
Charlotte Bronte.
I watched the video where we went to Howard and went to the Bronte Museum.
You're so good all at plugging our other vlogs.
You are our ultimate hype man.
Yeah. So yeah, and do you know, I've bought this edition, but I've yet to read Jane Eyre in this edition.
Well, do you know what? At some point, Jane Eyre is on my TBR, so we should read it together, and then you'll get to read this lovely flowery book. This could have been your flowery book.
Oh yeah, it could have also been my flowery book. Yeah, I'd like that.
I am pulling an answer for this question out of my brain. Now, I mean, I've talked about this book several times, but The Toymakers by Robert Dinsdale,
Yeah.
my guy.
Oh,
that
that
book absolutely devastates me. But then, at the end, it all turns out okay.
Yeah.
Love that.
Yeah, it's a very good book, and it does turn out right, but it is very tragic as you go through it.
Number 6, it's that time of year when all the animals stretch their limbs and come out of hibernation. Choose a book that pulled you out of a reading slump. Now, I'm constantly in a reading slump, so I can't answer this question. Please answer from your own experience.
That's so sad.
What do you mean a reading?
So a reading slump is when every book you read kind of drags you down and you don't really want to read it. And it's...
Oh, maybe I'm not in a reading slump then. I'm just not very good at reading.
Yeah.
Like when I read, I'm enjoying the books that I'm reading. They're just very sporadically read.
I think that's okay. I feel like a reading slump is when like you really just can't drag yourself to read. My book is very up to date because February was a bit of a reading slump for me.
If you haven't watched Cathy's reading journal, go and watch it now.
Go watch that and see me get increasingly grumpy. However...
Well, you're slacking. You're slacking. You were supposed to plug that.
However, my mum passed on a couple of books to me that she's just finished reading, and one of them was The Whisper Man, and I've been reading it this week. And
talk about this in a whisper.
Not in a whisper.
Yeah, but a loud whisper so the camera picks you up.
A loud whisper so the camera picks it up.
Yes.
Okay. I'm not going to whisper it.
Let's whisper it.
Let's whisper it. It's called The Whisper Man. It's got a moth on the front. Is it a butterfly?
I think it's a butterfly.
Okay.
It's like...
I feel like you would rather it be a moth.
Yeah, they're normally moths aren't. Oh, maybe it is a moth. I think it actually... I thought it is a moth. I don't want to whisper. Leave me alone. Oh gosh, you two are so creepy between you.
I mean, this book looks creepy. It's got bones on it.
It is creepy, and
You love a creepy book.
I love a creepy book, and this has been like the best creepy horror book I have read probably since The Skeleton Key, which The Skeleton Key was a couple of years ago now. This
I really don't think it was. I think it was last year.
No, because it would have been my favourite book of the year and it wasn't. Plot is, when Tom and his son Jake move to Featherbank, they're looking for a fresh start. But the sleepy village has a dark past. 15 years earlier, a serial killer haunted its streets. In the days before he struck, his young victims claimed to hear whispers in the night. Of course, an old crime need not trouble Tom and Jake until another boy goes missing. And then Jake says he hears a whispering at his window.
Ooh, don't like that. I do not like that.
Honestly, this was so creepy and so much happened in it. Like, sometimes in a book you're like, oh, you know, there's this fifth victim whose body was never found. Like, I guess they'll find it by the end of the book. No, partway through the book, that's found. And then that leads to something else. Every time I thought, oh, well, this isn't going to happen till the end of the book, it just happened straight away. It was so eventful, so well written. I will definitely want to read this one again sometime. So this has really pulled me out my slump this week.
That's nice. I'm glad.
So The Whisper Man, highly, highly recommend.
Okay.
That's so creepy.
It is really creepy.
That sounds creepy. Number 7. Students all over exhale a sigh of relief knowing they get a break from school. Choose a book whose friend group you'd like to spend spring break with.
Nice. On a completely different vibe to the one I've just shown, I would love to spend spring break or Easter break, because we're English, with the Chocolate Lovers Club, which is Chocolate Lovers Club is a series of books about 4 women who love chocolate and meet in a cafe that specialises in hot chocolate and chocolates.
Yep.
They're all very different women, but they are very nice and they have good times together and go on adventures and they're falling in love. It's like Sex and the City, but with chocolate instead of cocktails and English vibes, yeah. And I just think they're wonderful, wonderful women, and I really enjoy reading the books, spending time with them, so I'd love to have a trip with them.
Nice.
Did you have an answer for that one?
So I thought about several different ones, and then I just kind of dismissed all of them. So I thought about like Anne Shirley Cuthbert and her gang, but then I was like, but would I actually want to spend a day in turn of the century Canada?
Yeah.
I don't think so. So yeah, I couldn't really think of one specific.
Yeah.
Maybe if I lived in turn of the century Canada, then maybe I would want to spend time with Anne and her friends. But...
Yeah. I admit my first thought was Hobbits.
Yeah, I considered that as well. I thought, just vibing with Merry and Pippin, eating some food. It'd be fun, wouldn't it? Going on a walk.
Yeah, I'd love to spend time with Hobbits.
Yeah. Number 8. Spring is all about rebirth and blooming. Choose a book that made you grow as a person.
Can I say I really struggled with this one? Because, I really struggled, and I was looking at my shelves going, which one? And then I eventually landed on, and it's one that I actually haven't picked up in ages. So Crossing Over by Paul Scanlon.
I've never even seen that.
No, this was released in like the early 2000s, and this is a book about church leadership and the idea of leading your church through change. But there's just some like core principles in here that actually when I read it, they've always stuck with me, and I actually kind of want to read it again now that I'm holding it in my hands. Kind of about how to go through change, how to take people with you, how to be hopeful. And it was really good, and it kind of did change my life and help me grow because it taught me some things, but also because I love this book so much, I went and studied for a year at the church which this guy led.
Oh, wow.
And that's why I met Rob. So that's quite a big change.
That is quite a big change. Aww.
I know.
That's cute.
So yeah, I feel like I want to reread this and kind of remind myself what's in there.
Number 9. A picnic in the park is the perfect springtime activity. Choose a book with a character who you think would pack the best picnic ever.
For this, I've chosen The Little Lady Agency, which is a book I know I've talked a lot about on the channel, because Melissa in here runs an agency where she sorts people's lives out and social occasions and things. She loves her food, and every bit in here that describes food makes me want to eat it. And I think she'd be very good company, and I think she'd pack a very good picnic basket. And she'd also remember stuff like sun cream and like bug spray. Like, she remembers everything. She's very highly organised, and it would all be very like artfully done, and the food would be great. I bet she'd remember like a nice drink as well. So I trust Melissa would pack me a good picnic basket.
You know what? I'm going to jump back to Lord of the Rings.
Hobbits.
Samwise, you
Sam.
pack me a little picnic basket, please. Anyway, last question, number 10. For many, spring is the first break from the bitterness of winter. Choose a book that is the embodiment of sunshine. Okay.
I have a good one for this.
Unfortunately, there isn't a book called Rachel Bailey, so
no.
you can't pick that.
If only. I'd love to read the book of Rachel Bailey.
Sorry, please. please.
Leonard and Hungry Paul. Oh, this is such a soothing balm of a book.
Did you get this from the book fair?
I read it whilst I was at the book fair. Okay. So Leonard and Hungry Paul are two guys who probably both are on the like neurodivergent spectrum.
Why is there like a bird on the front?
It's a fish.
It's a fish. It's an angel fish, I think.
I really didn't know.
I just can't remember why. But these two guys are very sweet men, kind of introverted. The world is quite small that they operate in, but they both come to a point in their lives where they kind of want to reach out and connect with people more, and in their own tentative ways they start to do that. And every person you meet in this book is also lovely in their own way. And this book is such a celebration of like ordinary people and ordinary love. And it's just really beautifully done, and it makes you feel hopeful about the world. So this is my sunshine book.
Lovely. And it's yellow.
And it's yellow too, which I feel like is a very good choice.
I think you should have stacked them so they could see them.
Well, she hasn't.
So these are all the books that I've included in the spring tag today.
Yeah.
Woo.
Feel free to do the tag yourselves and then tag us because we'd love to see it.
Yeah. We said that at the same time. Oh, we're so in sync.
Thanks so much for watching. Bye.
Bye.
I'm Cathy. Okay. You ready?
I'm ready. So this is fully embracing the vibe of Cathy being very organised and me being a disaster.
It's
So,
the vibe.
I would not sum it up like that.
number 6. Oh, there's no battery left.
Oh no!
Cathy!
I charged it for a good hour this morning.